When you need something, it just automatically is there, and it normally would not be there. Whether it's the Fry family having a house next door that belongs to the Frys, or the organist in the village of the Seilers, or whatever it is. I had that same experience while you guys were traveling to Munich, Jan and I. We went to Buach, and I'm not saying it right because Dr. Knoll at the Heimat Museum informed me how to pronounce that word, but at any rate, we took a taxi. It was a Muslim, interestingly enough, and we had some interesting conversation on the way back. But when we went there, it was 50 euros, and I said I'd like to go to the village of Buach, to the place of my grandfather on my mother's side, great-grandfather, several generations back. And he put it in the GPS, and he dropped us off at what we thought was Buach, and he went back to Esslingen. And I went to the Father's house because the church was locked, and I'd asked if we could get inside the church, and he says, well, you're not at Buach. He said, you're at Grunbach. And he said, Buach is 3 kilometers further on. And then he explained how to get there, but it was going to be a little difficult, but we could get there. At any rate, I went back to talk to Jan, who was sitting out front of the church, and here was our taxi driver. And he says, my gosh, he says, on the way home it struck me that I had you at the wrong church. And so we got back in the taxi and we went up to the church, and we were able to see this church from the 1287 or something like that my ancestors worshipped in. And while we were there, we went to the Friedhof, which was right around the church. In fact, it was absolutely all the way around the Friedhof at one time, because they were putting a road in, and they had dug up some of the bones of the people that had been buried there centuries ago, and they had to rebury them in that exact same location that they dug them up from. But we went in the Friedhof part, which was fascinating in and of itself for various reasons, which I'm not going to share with you today. But at any rate, we were there. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and he was going to pick us up by taxi at 5. And so we had 7 hours, and we thought Buach, like all these other villages, would have a little restaurant or someplace you could go and eat and sit and drink and walk around and see things. Well, little did we know that Buach is a professional retirement kind of village or community. Not necessarily retirement. Professors live there, doctors live there, and what have you, and the houses are extremely well done, and so there's absolutely no businesses. So we had 6 hours, 7 hours to kill, and I didn't know what we were going to do, and all of a sudden, hold on.
Just for Deisbach, we have to go this direction. For Sinsheim, we have to go this. You know it? Because Deisbach, we have to do a turnaround, but the road was blocked, so that I go one exit before.
Okay.
So, what do you like to see at Sinsheim?
Just drive through.
We had drive through, make a turnaround, and going back.
Yeah.
Because we have to go in this
Yeah.
direction. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No problem. Had to do our logistics. So anyway, we were standing there, and we thought, what are we going to do for 7 hours in a town that doesn't have anything? And an old man comes walking over to us, and he says, this is one of those God moments. He said, can I help you? And I talked to him, and he said, I'm the former father, the former pastor of this church. I retired about 4 years ago. I live in Berlin, but I thought I would come over today to visit some of my friends. And I wanted to come to the graveyard, and for whatever reason, I can't remember what his reason was, he says, and I have time. So he says, I will take you all around. So he spent 6 hours with us, and we had lunch with him and everything else, and it was just a phenomenal day. Had the taxi cab driver not come to the realization to come back, had this man from Berlin not been in the cemetery at the time, none of this would have been possible. So the next day, we're wanting to connect. Oh, then that evening, Jan and I are counting our euros. At one time, we thought we might buy some of your euros if you had some extras, but we don't need to now. We're counting our euros, and we thought we're going to be a little short. And so we're walking down We haven't heard from Victor Yerke, my relative, and we're walking down to Altstadt in Esslingen to find something to eat. We don't know where we're going to eat. All the prices are, 25, 30 euros. And here's a Subway. Well, I'm a big fan of Subway, and so we went into Subway and we had a 12-inch sandwich cut into 6-inch, that way it's cheaper. And we drank 1 Coke and 1 cookie. And we still hadn't heard from Victor Yerke, from our relatives, so we thought, we're not going to have anything to do tomorrow. We'll just hang out at the room. We get back to the room, and the lady hollers out, because Victor was supposed to have called us a couple days earlier. She says, you have a call here from a Victor Yerke. And lo and behold, there he is. And he says, we would like to come and pick you up tomorrow morning. And so we got picked up on the morning that, whatever morning it was, I don't remember anymore. And so he says, I'm going to come and get you at 9 o'clock, or between 9 and 10. So we're down in the lobby at 9. It's 9:30.